What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this one, I'm going to be continuing to show you how to make Indigo Park Chapter 1 in Minecraft. This is part 13. In this one, we're going to be finishing off this area here, which would literally just be this room. And we're also going to be finishing off the entire railroad. Yippee! Which means Lloyd's room, basically, and also this little end room here does get done. Anyway, that is all. So with that being said, enjoy the tutorial, and I will catch you on the flip side. Wow, that is creepy. Alright, so you want to be in this particular area, as I guess I would have been specified earlier. I don't know, something like that. We're going to finish off this part, though. You want to start by getting out the following. Bamboo trapdoors. I said it right this time. Polished deep slate slabs. Iron bars. Chiseled bookshelves, waxed weathered cut copper slabs, which we're going to use for blocks, waxed weathered cut copper stairs, bamboo stairs, bamboo slabs, and wow, I love that forest. It's not really I guess actually stone slabs is a valid option. Or we could have done the sea lanterns, but it's a little late for that now. Head back into the hallway first off, and off of the end of these pipes, you want to place iron bars to, I guess 2 iron bars to the left of each of the copper slab and prismarine brick slab rows. I will extend the left row of bars down and up an additional 1, and then the top 2 can be brought left by 1 each. The lower iron bar of those 2, I will extend left, down, down. Heading all the way left of this into this particular corner, I'm going to leave a gap of 1 going back to the right and place 3 rows of chiseled bookshelves going right, each that are too tall and each that face forward. I will copy that in front of itself. And then 2 more times in front of that, I'm going to place those same rows, just each of them are shifted right by 1 from those 2. So kind of like this. Off of the back right chiseled bookshelf, I'll crouch and place 2 bamboo trapdoors open to the right half of that block. From the bottom trapdoor and these 2 chiseled bookshelves, I'll go right from each of them with 4 upside down polished deep slate slabs, and then you probably should know the drill. The bamboo trapdoors open against the far end of those slabs. From the back left corner of the build again, or the room, I'll count forward by 1 and place 4 bamboo trapdoors each open forward, with 4 upside down polished deep slate slabs in front of each. The bottom 3, and then the trapdoors open up the front half again. What do we want to get or do now? You can get rid of the chiseled bookshelves because you need a dirt block. I'm just going to pick coarse dirt. And on the right wall here, kind of where this divot is, just behind it, I'm going to leave a gap of 1 and place a dirt block with 4, is it 4 again, or is it 3 this time? No, 4 bamboo trapdoors open against the back half of the block. Each of the top 3 I'll bring back with 4 polished deep slate slabs in line with the bottom half. And then I will kind of copy the trapdoors on the back side here. You'll have the 4 open against those slabs and then the dirt block below. I will show that later with the same way that I have, where I'll go into the original. Anything else particularly? Sure. Take this shelf on the back wall, and in line with this right row of bamboo trapdoors, you'll kind of trace it up, and you will go all the way forward with upside down stone slabs until you hit the front wall, and then you'll also bring it right by 1. From the 4th slab from this front, so this is the front one, this would be the second one, 3rd, 4th, you'll leave a gap of 2 going left, stone slab, bring it back diagonally, I guess forward diagonally left, then back by 6, and then left by 3. You can get rid of your stone slabs and get out sea lanterns, and from this kind of corner here, you want to count right 2, back 2. Replace this chiseled stone brick with a sea lantern along with the one to the right. That is actually centered in the room, by the way. Left to right, at least. I don't know about the other way. Is it? I'm kind of curious now. No, it's a... Of course it's a block off. Why wouldn't it be? Because there's no one block center that way. On really the only wall we haven't dealt with, which is the front wall, if you are looking at it the way that I am, you want to head to the further... I guess the actual kind of back left block. And count forward diagonally, right by 1 in place, 2 wax weathered cut copper blocks extending up. In front of that top one, you'll have a stair facing forward. And on top of it, you'll have a bamboo stair facing right. That is on top of the block, not the stair. From this bottom block you placed, you'll go right with a copper slab. Then right with 2 blocks, each with a slab on top. Technically, these blocks should be opposite on slabs, but again, it's covered in dirt, so you can't see it anyway, so we're just placing the blocks. Right after that, a slab. Block with another block on top. Left and right of that block, I'll have opposite on bamboo slabs, each with a slab on top. Get rid of the bamboo stair and bamboo slab and get out yellow terracotta and red terracotta. And on this back wall, I'll take the top left white, and I'll count down 1 and right 1 and going right. In the wall, I'll place 2 yellow terracotta. Well, I guess, yeah, that's obvious. 2 red and then another yellow. Going left to right again, the next row down. I'm going to start from the furthest left block. This white terracotta, not under this yellow, it is still 1 over. You'll place yellow, 2 red, yellow, red, yellow. Out of that bottom row, you have 3 yellows. Well, actually, out of both rows, I guess, but that's not important. You'll take the middle yellow from that bottom row and extend it down 1 and then left. You kind of have a bunch of iron bars all over the place in this room. Starting from the right wall, I'm going to, if I'm looking at it, take this stone slab against the wall, and I'll have an iron bar to the right of it that is brought down to, right, down to, right. Left of the top slab, I'd leave a gap, and then place 2 iron bars going left, down, down 3. Out of the 3 you brought down, the first one you would have placed, which is this one, you'll leave a gap of 1 going left from. Place 3 iron bars extending up. And then we would do 2 things with this one, so keep this top one in mind. Because you'll go forward 2, down 2, forward, down 2. And in addition, you would go left 2, down 3. From that row, for the top 2 iron bars, you'll bring forward by 2 each. And then from that front row, I'll bring this bottom iron bar down. Looking at the little Finley dude here, I'm going to take this left slab and I'll place an iron bar in front of it that is brought up, right, and either of those 2 I'll bring up by 2 each. And from that row, this top row of 2, I'll bring it 2 directions. I'll bring right by 1, and also the left block I'll bring up with another bar, or left bar I'll bring up. It's not technically a block. Cool. Clear your inventory, and to finish off this room outside of the dirt texturing, you want cobble deep slate slabs, cyan terracotta, oak sign, polished blackstone button. On the right wall again, between these 2 kind of lower iron bars where they're just a block off the ground, you leave a gap of 1 extending in from either side and break the middle 3 magenta at eye level. Break 2 more rows up and a block back, you'll fill this in with cyan terracotta. Row of upside down cobble deep slate slabs at the top and a row of just regular ones on the bottom. And in the center row, you'll go left to right and place an oak sign and then 2 polished blackstone buttons. Cool. For the dirt texturing in here, again, this one is a little more important in really 2 spots. Well, I guess actually, you can see I kind of intentionally left everything shorter because of that. Again, if you don't really care for it, this shelf is the only thing that I think truly matters for it, because you'd have to, or you'd want to shift that down so it's even with the other ones. But Finley as well, these 2 blocks and this block you'd replace with opposite on slabs. As I mentioned, they should have been. But yeah, you can see I kind of have the dirt texturing going around him, so it doesn't matter anyway. But yeah, Again, if you would like to copy, starting from this side, here's kind of the vibe we got going. As I'm showing this, hopefully everyone is having a good day or night. I am for the most part. We're recording a lot of parts for this. And so yeah, that's all of it, really. And if you like this situation, you would have to break this trapdoor that's here. That's really fine. I just didn't exactly show that because it's not as important as this one literally being suspended in the air. But, yeah. Because that is why it's also higher. Because of that. But yeah, if you need to, you can rewatch that segment to just get as many angles as you'd like to at least get the idea even. And yeah, now after that we can move on to at least, I guess, bring the tracks further and then doing Lloyd's room. Alrighty, so we can leave that looks so cursed like that. We can leave this section, and if you head back to the skunk room and head to the end over here where it is just open actively, you want to get out the following. Blackstone slabs, polished deep slate, rails, stripped oak wood, oh god, not the directional blocks, mangrove planks, mangrove slabs, black concrete, that is pretty important, and mud, maybe? I think that's reasonable. Where is... oh, right, it's in nature, duh. So, pick any blackstone slab here. It does not matter which one out of the 4 that you have available. And you're going to just kind of extend out into the open with a blackstone block, up with a slab, out with a block, up with a slab, out with a block, up with a slab, etc. until you have... in total, this 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 there. You want 6. Of course, I was 1 off. Like that. As you can see, again, 1 row, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then this top slab, you would bring out an additional 3. Copy that for each of the 4 rows of the blackstone. Don't bring it across. You obviously need the rail in the middle, so... that'd be a little bit of an interesting choice. And then you'll pretty much just like... you would bring the polished deep set at the distance you have out an additional 1. So it's not between these blackstones, but a block lower. And then you would just keep going up diagonally kind of with this until you hit like... just a half a block below these slabs, and then you'd bring it out the additional, what should be 2, and place the rails on top. Cool. Bring the black concrete walls and ceiling just over until they are in line with the end of the blackstone. You don't have to fill in all of the black concrete, obviously, at least for the walls, because what's lower than this you won't see anyway, although it would help with lighting. At least for, I guess, these top ones, since the rest do have the blocks below already. But, yeah. This is where it's fun, because the directional blocks come in that face upward. I'm sorry in advance. You could, if you wanted, just use if you're familiar with it and comfortable with doing this, you can use like a different block, maybe like gray terracotta, or even like gold blocks or something. And then go back in after and do a /fill command to replace the gold with stripped oak wood. Just so all the directions are the same. I'm not going to, and I think it's an easier way to do it sometimes, but like in this situation, eh. Anyway, from this you want to take the outer more blackstone slabs and place stripped oak woods facing up kind of to the left of them. Extend either one up by 4. And then you'll connect them together with that top row. They're still going to be upward facing, I'm sorry. They all are. You'll extend this stripped oak wood row back another, I guess left another row if you're looking at it like I am, but... you can see the direction, it's fine. Directions are weird. You can ignore this row to the right of the door if you so choose. I'm not going to. But I'm going to place an additional 5 rows of stripped oak wood on top of this. Because that back row is the corner. Or the right row is the corner, sorry. Like so. I'm going to at least bring the stripped oak wood on the left down another row. And then the bottom 3 stripped oak wood from there, I will bring across with 12 stripped oak wood. I'm just going to do this. Count it out with mangrove, like so. And then I would place the additional 2 rows on top to give me the 3, and then I'll just replace the mangrove with stripped oak. Like so. Yeah. This is kind of mirrored. That's annoying. Going right to left on this row, you want to start with 5 mangrove planks, 2 stripped oak, mangrove plank, gap of 3, and then another mangrove plank. Copy that row one more time. And the next row will be 5 mangrove, 2 stripped oak, 2 mangrove, an upside down slab, 2 mangrove. On top of that, full row of stripped oak wood. The next row is like basically mirrored from the one below. So or I guess the next 3 rows. So you'd start with a mangrove, gap of 3, mangrove, 2 stripped oak, 5 mangrove. Copy that row one more time. Next row, 2 mangrove, upside down slab, 2 mangrove, 2 stripped oak, 5 mangrove, and then the top row is fully stripped oak. I used mud for texturing again here. Why didn't I use like stripped spruce or something? Or even oak planks would, I think, work. I don't know. Who knows anymore? From this back row of stripped oak wood, the bottom 2, or I guess the right row, the bottom 2 you want to extend across by 15. Just like so. Good lord. There we go. Going on top of that from the doorway to the open side, I'm going to start with a stripped oak, 5 mangrove, 2 stripped oak, 5 mangrove, 2 stripped oak. Copy that row 2 more times. Place a row of stripped oak wood on top. Then you would copy that mangrove row again 3 times. These windows are not open. They actually alternate, I think. Like, they'll keep opening and closing. I didn't do anything with it, though. And then you'll place a row of stripped oak wood on top. So if you wanted to make, like, opposite corners open, you can. I think it's that one Molly McCall kind of pokes her head out of. You can bring the blackstone and like the railway just kind of across until you're in line with the end stripped oak wood here. This is only the 1 row of slabs either side and also the rails. You do not want to go any further on the at least one side that you can, but you want to do that like so. And then on this end here, you would place a stripped oak wood kind of in front of this blackstone slab. That would be brought down by 1 again, and also up by, what is that going to be? 9? Yes, that is correct. This wall is basically the opposite of that with the window placements, although it is kind of the same idea. Again, you're doing the same start, though. You're going forward from the bottom 3 stripped oak with 13 stripped oak. That's so annoying to place. And then to start off here, you would copy the top side. So you'd start with a stripped oak, mangrove, gap of 3, mangrove, 2 stripped oak, 5 mangrove. Copy that row 1 more time. Next row, stripped oak, 2 mangrove, upside down slab, 2 mangrove, 2 stripped oak, 5 mangrove. Then a full row of stripped oak wood on top of that. Next row start with a stripped oak, 5 mangrove, 2 stripped oak, mangrove, gap of 3 mangrove, and you should get the drill from this point. You're just kind of copying the window shapes once again, and then the top row of stripped oak as well. Cool. Each of the open curtains, which would include if you added any on this back wall, you will fill in a block behind them with black concrete, which is just going to be in line with the upside down slab, which I guess if you really wanted a specific way to do it, off of the upside down slab, a black that you bring down by 2, and you'd bring that forward and backward by 1 each of the bottom 2. I guess you could do it with the top one as well. It wouldn't hurt anything, but you should end up with this. You can... What can we get rid of? The polished deep slate and the rails, along with the mangrove planks and mangrove slabs. And get out. Spruce planks. Stripped jungle wood. Red wool. What else? Anything? We got the ochre frog lights and add the light. Why not? If I can find the center, that is. You want to take the kind of far end of the room and connect the bottom stripped oak wood. It'll be the, like, 3 rows, the back 3 rows, together with spruce planks. Which is the stage that Finley, or Lloyd, stands on. Why do I keep calling him Finley? I don't know. At the back, you can place a row of red wool directly behind the spruce, just as a marker. Going left to right or right to left on top of that doesn't matter. At least for this first row, we're going to place 4 red wool, 6 stripped oak wood, 4 red wool. Copy that row one more time. And then I want to focus on just the stripped oak, because we can bring that up with whatever, and then we can just fill in the rest of the wall with red. Ignoring the, well, on top of the stripped oak wood going left to right, on this row of 6, you'll leave a gap of 1. Actually, you can place a red wool on the left, and then going across, place 3 stripped oak, stripped jungle, red. Next row, again, red, stripped oak, 3 stripped jungle, red. Next row, 2 stripped oak, that was not oak, there we go, stripped jungle, 3 stripped oak. Next row, 4 stripped oak, stripped jungle, stripped oak, and then from there the center 4 wood blocks are bringing up by 1 each. That should be what you have. The rest of this wall you'll fill in with red wool up to the height of the stripped oak wood top row of the, I guess, walls, not the actual little emblem thing we made in the center there. I don't know what that's supposed to be, I'm gonna be honest. If this is a curtain, that wouldn't logically I guess it's a set piece or something, I don't know. I forget. But it should give you this. You can actually get rid of your red wool and get out gray wool. And around the tops of the walls, for the red wool, you're going to do the kind of... the thing we did with the mud in the other rooms with gray wool. And you can kind of, again, like just 1 or 2 blocks down. Doesn't have to be a ton. Just kind of something like this, maybe. And then for the stripped oak, you're doing it the same thing with mud. You can go, like, over the mangrove if you want. I wouldn't do it a ton. I'd only do it on the closed windows, because the open ones it'll just kind of get a little weird with. But I broke that block. Guess it's getting replaced now. But it is up to you how you do it. There is no right or wrong way, technically speaking, but just something like that. A block above the height of the walls, we can fill in the ceiling with black concrete. I want to say that it'll include the opening here on the one side. Yes, it will. So you'll just kind of go over this little 3-block area, but that'll be dealt with in a little bit. And I don't know if I'm going to give you the numbers for that part, actually. I might not. Dice roll. Because I don't know... I don't know if it matters. As long as it's in the ballpark. It might. I'd rather it not matter and I give it perfect than the other way around. Anyway, it should give you this. You want to kind of find the rough center and place a 1x2 of ochre froglets. The way I would find this is taking the set of windows closest to the railway and taking the furthest block from it, which is their furthest row from the rails. And you'll kind of just break 2 black concrete roughly in the center in line with that. And if you look at the stage, you can see if you're centered because you would be in line with the center 2 blocks of the little stripped oak thing. And then you'll place the ochre froglights in the ceiling. Cool. For the floor, I realize I've been putting this off for like a year. Bring this row of blackstone slabs off the side of the rails down with a row of blackstone blocks. In line with that row of blocks, you'll fill in the floor with blackstone slabs. It'll make the stage a half a block taller, and it'll make the rail a full block taller. In case anybody needed to know that. Oh, you know what room's not going to be fun? The Lloyd Theater, or the theater, I guess. I'm going to call it the Lloyd Theater, but I don't really think that is what it is. It's just like the theater that is to the right when you exit the gift shop. That's gonna be real bad. You can clear your inventory and get out the following. Bamboo stairs and, is that it? Bamboo slabs as well, I guess? Yeah. Just for a moment, and then we'll do all the armor stands. I want to save those separately because they're annoying. At the top center of the kind of back wall of this, you want to place bamboo slabs off the top 2 center red wool, like so. Below that, you'll have a set of bamboo stairs facing into each other. And then outside of those stairs, you'll have more bamboo stairs facing into those. From the center 2 stairs, you'll go down with upside down slabs, like so. And that's just kind of the little crown symbol or something. Oh yeah, we have to do the Lloyd. I knew I was missing something. Get out oak planks, oak slabs, acacia slabs, prismarine brick slabs, and gray concrete. On the stage, you want to kind of just find the center 2 spruce planks. And off of the right more one of the 2, you'll place an oak plank, gray concrete on top, oak plank on top, acacia slab above that. Extend the acacia slab right with another slab. Down with an acacia plank, just make it out of slabs. Down with an upside down prismarine brick slab, and then bring that one right with an upside down oak slab. Off the left of the gray, you can place another upside down prismarine brick slab, but this time there's an oak slab kind of up diagonally left, like so. It's beautiful. Not really. Clear your inventory and get out the following. Is this Bedrock exclusive? I think there's a way to do it on Java, but I don't know the way. Get out armor stands, cauldron, a water bucket, black dye, and a full set of leather armor. I want to say you have to do this in a crafting table in Java, because Java does not have the colored water in cauldrons, from what I recall. Smack your cauldron on the floor, place your water in it, and you can place your black dye in it. This bucket is going to annoy me. Right-click or try to place each of your leather armor pieces into the cauldron, and you'll see it dyes them all black. Cool. Now, you can get rid of the cauldron. Every other row, starting from the second row of slabs, so not the one closest to the rails, but one over this guy, you want to place armor stands on every single slab on that row going left to right that face towards the stage. So that is row 1. And then you would leave a gap of 1 and place another row here. Then gap of 1, another row. Gap of 1, another row, and you get the drill. There'll be one more row after that. And they all should just face perfectly forward. They all should, once you place them, they'll fall onto the slabs. Like so. And they're all holding hands. That's funny. Every single one of these armor stands you want to give your leather armor to. Get used to this. I put on the shoes. I am known shoe wearer now. Yeah, this will take a minute. I can't even lie. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but You can see once you get one row in. Looks pretty cool. I can put all the boots on first. Actually, I think that might be harder than just doing what I was doing with the scrolling. It's kind of satisfying in a way. I don't know. And then after this, I'll just kind of talk about it briefly. What? Huh? We're gonna... The rail, like, for this part... On the original, I had to just go straight back, which you can't see a turn, so that was what you'd presume. However, that meant the landing pad wouldn't line up. So as I not actually refreshed it, as I moved it into this world, I had to structure block every single bit. Yeah, this whole map had to be structure blocked. So I had to... I basically put a turn in the rail track, and I structure blocked the entire thing. Now here's the fun part with that, right? The beginning of the chapter and the landing pad were fine. They did not have to be rotated. I can't remember why landing pad didn't, though. I just know it was separate, but you would think if it didn't that I would have had something wrong. Because if I have to rotate the rest and not landing pad, how does that make sense? But anyway, I think it was like 20 structure blocks or something, and I had to rotate every single one of them at a 90-degree angle. So it was fun. 0 out of 10 would not recommend doing. I hated it, but it was worth. Anyway, that should give you this. Cool, that's Lloyd's room done, and you can get rid of the armor. And yeah, I think that looks pretty nice. They could honestly be a little bit lower, arguably, but man. Yeah, I'm gonna need the numbers for this part because it's more than one, and that's all that is considered in my mind. What, huh? Alright, so get out blackstone slabs, cobbled deep slate slabs, polished deep slate, and rails. And also black concrete, actually. That would be important. So starting from, if you are looking towards the empty side here, you're going to take the right row of blackstone slabs. Extend this out an additional 29. You'll then go right, then back, then right by 23. Just like so. And if you would like, I didn't actually note this number down actively, but you can place 13 cobbled deep slate slabs, just continuing this row. Just so we kind of can get the next room marked out. For the other side, you're doing a similar thing. When you bring the blackstone slab out here on this side, you want to stop when you are 2 blocks further than this row here. And then you would go right, back, and then all the way right until you're in line with the last blackstone slab, and then you would switch to cobbled deep slate until you're in line with the end cobbled deep slate slab. Cool. Easy enough. You would fill in the kind of row between that with the polished deep slate and the rails on top, as per usual. I'm forgetting the amount of time we're into this video. That's really good. I'll just kind of go by vibes, and if it ends up being 50 minutes, it ends up being 50 minutes, you know, that is what it is. So if you're looking at this being like, huh, I wonder why this part was longer or shorter, there's your answer. I have no idea what the time is right now. It's not playtime, I can tell you that. Anyway, get out, in addition, stripped dark oak wood. This is important. And head to the end row of blackstone slabs here, where it switches to cobbled deep slate. Off of this end row of blackstone, you want to place a stripped dark oak wood facing up, kind of on either side of it, like so, which is, I guess, forward and backward. Extend either of those up by 3, and then you'll go kind of up diagonally and place a stripped dark oak wood there, between them. Those are sideways facing. You would kind of just, like, continue that shape along with black concrete to just kind of cover up the rails here. When you reach the end, the only thing I want to point out here is, obviously you're filling, you know, this in, like, the walls, and then the ceiling is in line with that kind of vertical row. When you're at the end where Lloyd's room is, you're gonna have to fill up all the way with the kind of ceiling of black concrete. I'll show you what I mean, because here, I'll build up this wall, and then I'll bring the ceiling across, so you can see exactly what I mean. If I bring this along, I'd have the 3 black concrete here, and you see it would stop in line with the kind of walls here, or the black concrete, one short of the stripped oak, and then you would just bring it all the way up, and it should connect into the ceiling. Like so. And then I will just continue filling the walls and stuff here. And yeah. I think we'll try to finish the kind of end room there of the train. It shouldn't be too bad. Or at least even get it just like laid out. But I don't think there's anything in it other than... I don't think there's any detail in it, I should say. Like, I don't even think there's a light in the room, to be honest. There might be. Who knows? 50-50 chance. Anyway, it should give you this. Cool. From the end here, you can actually clear your inventory and get out the following. Gray terracotta. Orange terracotta. Black concrete. Oak planks. Oak stairs. Spruce planks. Iron bars. Prismarine walls. And that should be everything, I think. So, off of the sides of the cobble deep set slab rows, you're placing a row of oak planks on either side. If you were to kind of go down the rail to the left, you would have a row of oak stairs in addition. Like so. From the doorway, you're going to be, again, you can see the direction that I'm looking. I'm looking back towards kind of the rail as it's been. I'm taking this stripped dark oak wood here and extending it towards me with 5 gray terracotta. Then left with 3. And then an upward facing stripped dark oak wood, which you should have gotten out because I totally said it, 100%. Gaslighting 101. Bring that stripped dark oak up 3. Then left by 4. It would be 3 sideways, and then an upward facing one, which you would bring that one down by 3. And then after you bring it down, you can fix it. I'll then go left with 1 gray for now. Back diagonally left 1. Left 3. Also, just for fun, I'm going to place a row of gray terracotta behind this row of oak planks. Each gray you're going to bring up with 5 orange terracotta. And as you do this, you'll kind of fill over doorways and stuff that are important. You're still leaving that one wall open, though, because we don't like that wall. Not actually, it just doesn't exist. Because you're never in this room after the train ride, you immediately get teleported here. I just, like, didn't add a wall over there or anything, because you would, well... No, it would have to loop back, wouldn't it? Because how else would you get the train from here to back over there? Like, there's got to be some system or something. Although I would imagine that would be really annoying regardless. Huh, maybe it turns the other way. Well, no, if it turned the other way, then if it went that way, you would have the door that way, and you would... It doesn't make sense. I don't know. The floor you'll fill in with spruce planks, just kind of a block below everything that we've filled in so far. Which will include under this doorway here, just for fun. I'll place a row of prismarine walls either side of the, like, inside of the stripped dark oak, and it'll kind of extend out by a row, so away from this room. The stripped dark oak sides from this doorway I'll bring out with 3 iron bars each. And then there's 2 more things left and the part is done. The left wall of this room you're filling in with entirely black concrete. And the ceiling you're filling in with spruce planks a block above the height of the walls. And that's the part. Finally, 13 parts in, and we are out of the train ride, which is exciting, I guess. It only gets harder from here. I would even argue that the train is the easy... Well, not the easy part. The beginning is the easy part. The train is kind of in the middle. But, like, the 3 sections that are left, the main kind of outdoor area, landing pad is going to be awful. And then the theater is going to be not terrible, but it's just a lot of detail. Anyway, once you've done that, ladies and gentlemen, as I have mentioned, that is part 13 of Indigo Park Chapter 1 complete. Thank you guys who watched this video, and hopefully you guys did enjoy this video. Have a fantastic rest of your day or night, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.